Hello and welcome to Conquering Mom Scrap More with Brenda. I'm Brenda and we're here today with yet another orphan block challenge. It appears that our pile is growing, and yes it is, because we have to sometimes add fabric to an orphan block to make it into something else. So this is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be showing you two different ways to make a spool block. But first, I want to go talk to you about Vicky Holloway from My Creative Corner3. Now, her YouTube channel is going to be in the show notes below, and you guys know the drill. If you like what you see over at her channel, tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mom Scrap More sent you. Now, we also have a Facebook group link and a Zoom link for our monthly sew dates on Zoom. But the Facebook group also offers 24/7 sew dates with other members of that group. So you guys might want to check that out if you haven't done so already. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Comments all help us move our video analytics up, and we get more views that way. So that would be a really wonderful way to help you out. So come on in. We've got some fun sewing to do today on making more charity quilts. Okay, so I've got some spools, potential spool blocks laid out, and this is the one we're going to do the miter corners, and this is the one where we're doing the flip and sew. Now, the reason you would want to add more fabric is because if you start sewing these blocks together like this, they start looking really muddy. And you know, to have one in an orphan block is fine, you know, in a quilt, but to have an entire quilt made of this, there's no place for your eye to rest. There's not enough light color in here to find a restful spot. So sometimes it's easier just to go ahead and add your extra fabrics. Now, I picked a really, I have actually doing this block, I did so many of these, I actually made a massive dent in my brown scraps. I no longer have any brown scraps. These browns had to be cut from yardage. So that's how much it takes up. So in order to do this, let's just get started on this one first. The cutting instructions are all going to be in the show notes below. And what we're going to do, I just about sewed that one on wrong, is we're going to sew the spools like this. So we're going to have a place where all those seams rest. Right, so we're just going to push this over here. Now, I'm also making leader ender blocks while I'm doing my challenge, orphan block challenge. Yeah, that's probably why I've got so many orphan blocks. But hey, you know, it's a good way to move out stuff. Now, with these, you're going to sew them the same way, right? This. You're going to do a flip and stitch triangle. Now, I don't like doing it with a 1/4 inch foot on it, but I guess this is what we're doing today. Now, I don't have to change feet because I'm not doing watts. If I were doing watts, it would be a different story, right? So you just put your flip and stitch in, and you move this over. You want this side to be skinnier than this side. Okay, let me get this in. There we go. Now, we cut this off. We put the other side of the spool on. The background of the spool goes on. And you just make sure everything lines up good. This is a simple little block. The other one's a little more complex, but it's actually easy to sew, you know, when you think about it. It's just a Y seam at the corner, right? Okay. Now, because you want your spool, you want these ends to come in, right? So my angle is this, right? So I have good coverage. I'm just checking for good coverage right now. So my angle is this. So I want my spool now to do this, to go this way on these, right? So there we go, just lay it down. And get it. There we go. There we go. And another one. Now, what you can do is you can take this, okay, you know you got one side good, so you want to make sure the other side is good. Yes, it is. It got good coverage. And now we're just going to cut off these blocks. Because these blocks are out of a 2-inch strip, I don't sew them into little triangles. I had to draw the line somewhere, and that's the line. So now I'm just going to finger press this up like so. Get rid of all the excess thread. There. And now I'm going to sew them with the skinny end along this side, and I'm going to make sure line up this point first. That's the one we're going to put in first. Okay. Yeah, this was, I did a lot of spool blocks. I actually did enough spool blocks to make 3 twin quilts for charity doing this method. And I thought, okay, well, I might as well show everybody the other method too, right? So if you want to do this, you can. And these are just string pieced blocks that are just, you know, they're strings or blocks like one on top of each other. So there's no paper on the back to peel off. I can sew my strings together as long as I don't have an angle without paper. And as soon as I put an angle on it, my brain goes, nope, 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 we're not doing that. So, okay, now get these off. Okay. Get one, get another one. I'll get something bright. Yes, we can. Okay. And we'll just get this little leader ender 4-patch wannabe. Okay. Now I'm going to just push this up out of the way, give it a good little finger press, and do the other side. It's kind of cool fabric, I think. And, okay. Now the cutting instructions for both are going to be in the show notes. So, you know, you have some choices here. And depending on the size of your block, I just use 2-inch strips, right? So, okay, the other way. This is where we're going to do this with a mitered corner. So first off, I want to put on these strips first. Now, in order to make that happen, I'm going to make an imaginary little dash, like a little press. I'm going to line up my edges and make just a little dent. So when I open this up, I can actually see where the center is, right? Those where those divots are. Now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to match that up, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to match it up. There we go. Just like that. Now I'm going to match up these sides with this divot. So I've got this divot and that divot going together like that. So anything else now, I'm going to start, oh, I guess I'm going to start in a little bit. I should probably go the other way. Now that I've got where my centers are, I've lined up, all I've done is line up centers. And I start right at the edge, and then all the way down where the divot is. There. There we go. I'll show you this one in a bit here. We'll get a good peek at it. This one I just love this idea. So now we take this off and we get another 2 leader and enders through the works. Yeah, just, you know, this one takes more leader and ender things to do. So that's why, you know, a lot of people will shy away from it. But it's something you need to know, right? I mean, the more techniques you know how to do something, the better quilter you are. The better quilter you become, too. So now I'm going to do this. I'm going to line up my divots again. This is my divot side, and there are my divots. And I'm going to go finish my little 4-patch and pull it up and over and out of the way. And now we're just going to sew here. There we go. And another little thing comes together. I know, these little 4 patches are darling, aren't they? Okay, there we go. Oh well. Okay, now we take our other fabric. Now basically we're going to do a mitered corner, right? So we're basically just going to push this out of the way and push this out of the way. Okay, now we also want to create a little bit of a gap, about a 1/4 inch gap, just because that would probably be better, because you need a little bit of space to get your next strip in. So you just want a little space. You just want to pull it back, your stitches back like a 1/4 inch. It doesn't have to be exact, like you don't have to sit there with a laser measurement or anything. You just want that little bit of room to get your next piece in. Okay, and there we go. We got like about a 1/4 inch, right? So now we take this, we press this over like so, we line up our edges, and we get a middle. And we do the same on the other side, and we get a middle. Okay. Okay, so now we take our ends, and we take one at a time, we press a middle, and we get the other side, press a middle. Okay, so now we start sewing these on. Now we don't want to make a Y seam, we're trying to do a mitered seam, which is a little different. So what you want to do is you want to turn it like this, and now if you go like this, you're going to push this in and back out of the way. Okay, oops, my foot fell off. Oh no, my foot does that often. Okay, so you want to push it out of the way, and you want to push this out of the way. Okay, so you want to go right where it starts at a 1/4 inch in. Now you want to just do a little back stitch, because you know where your 1/4 inch is. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. And now we're going to go down to this line here. And you want to go right up to your stitch line, go back, and there. Now, I'm going to pull this out, run another. This is why it's so good to have a leader ender project around when you're doing this, because it makes your life so much easier. So much easier when you have one of these. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this one takes a little bit more stuff to do. And I just got like a stitch over. Oh no. So you just pull that stitch out. Your stitch over, you just pull it out. Okay, now you're gonna mark, you can see your divot still, and you line it up. You line it up, you turn it over. You pull this little 4 patch out of the way. Reattach your foot, because the vibration off the sewing machine makes it jump and wobble. And you want to go 1, 2, 3 back to your stitch line. As soon as you see your stitch line, you stop. Okay. Now we go all the way down because everything is lined up. Back because you hit your stitch line, and now you're going to start yet another little 4 patch. Yeah, we make lots of 4 patches with these. Oh, there we go. Make sure your sewing machine is pointed in the right direction. Yes, I know. Isn't that weird? Okay, here we go. I'm going to turn that upside down. Line it up just a hair better. I'm going to have a pile of these by the time I get through. If I had to do a stack of these this way, I think it would take a long time. But because we're only doing like one, and it's basically a demo, right? So you can see what we've done. Okay, now I'm just going to clip this. That got a little weird and I started sewing backwards. Okay, so now we've got this thing looking like this, right? And you're like, oh my goodness, how are you going to fix this? Well, what you do is you line up these ends now and you fold your work over to make a triangle. Now I am going to change feet for this one because I want to be able to see very well as to where I'm going and what I'm doing. And I can't see that as well as I should be able to with my 1/4 inch foot on. So I am going to change feet for the next little bit. Okay, here we go. Every block we change feet. Okay, so right where this is, that point, you can feel that point. But I'm going to mark it in pencil just so you can see it better. So it's right where this comes together here and here. Right? So you're marking, you're going to sew to the X, right? From the very tip of this point to that X. Can you see that X there, right there? Okay. So we're just going to go just like so. And I'm going a little bit to this side. And you want to go right to the X, down, and a few stitches back, and a forward, and then you want to put another leader under through. Yes, we're going to make hundreds of these little blue squares by the time we get done. Oh my goodness. Oh well, that's okay. That's okay. This is probably why I do have as many Orphan blocks as I do. And I got hundreds of these things. Okay, there we go. Now, just to show you again, right? You take these pieces, right, like this. Now, this is what you end up with, right? So you can cut that, and it's got no stitching. It's got no stitches missing. It's got no little hole. It's got nothing. So what you're going to do is you're going to just trim this off to 1/4 inch and be done. Now, again, we'll just give you a quick once over again, and then we'll move on to our ta-da moments. So I want to be sewing with the white up. There we go. So I want to be sewing with the white up. Now, I'm folding it so it's like this, and I make my X. This is the first part of the X, and right there is the other part of the X. And you just want to mark it with pencil so you can see where this is going to cross and where I'm going to stop, right? Okay, so now I line this up nice and neat, and I want to sew just a little bit. There we go. Right up to the X, nice and slow. Take your time. And go back 3 and go forward and pull this off and run yet another little 4 patch through. So I'll be back when I finish the other 2 sides, and I'll show you what we've got on our ta-da moment. Okay, this is our big ta-da moment. See these cute little spool blocks that I made? I'm going to add them to the pile of spool blocks I have left to sew. Now, I have enough here to make 1 more twin and a baby quilt. So that makes 2 twins I've already made. So I made lots and lots of these. I'm just going to hand this off to my cameraman and show you the twin size quilts. These worked up really fast, and I decided I was going to do a little sashing, therefore hence you're adding more fabric, to make this look like this. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. This I've got 2 of them. Oh. I got two of them like this. Hang on. There. And they're very simple, very quick. I almost had two done in one day. I had half the web, and I did this by webbing together. So it kind of looks like variegated thread on spools, right? And it has enough space for your eye to rest in. So now I have lots of those blocks. So this is the pink, red, and blue pile that I'm going to take and divide by half and make one other block like this, but a different block. Because when you start, like I say, when you're putting them together like this in a rails layout, there's no place for your eye to rest. So I'll add this to my Orphan blocks, but I will take these and make other block quilts with them. And here's the other color. So like you can see, I've got a few here that we're going to be working on. And it took me a while to get them done, but so you pick your method of which one you like to do spools on, and it'll be fine, it'll look great. So until we meet again, I hope you have an absolutely amazing week and you win bobbin chicken all the time. Okay, you take care. Bye. My husband and I would love to thank you for coming along with us on our quilting journey and the YouTube adventure that we're on. We have some wonderful plans for 2023, and it includes a lot more, like with the Facebook group and the rooms feature and sewing and hanging out with people. Those monthly Zoom sew dates are still in the works. We have a lot of fun ideas coming up for 2023, and we hope you share, like, and subscribe with your friends. That little notification button and subscribing to us really helps us out. Commenting helps us out too. So if you like what you're seeing, let us know. Even send us a heart on the comment. That helps so much for us. Okay, you have an absolutely fabulous 2023, and all of our best wishes for you in the future. Okay, take care. Bye.